The U.S. Secretary of Defense, Pete Hegseth, he's been receiving an enormous amount of criticism for hosting a voluntary prayer service in the Pentagon this week. And friends, just think of this. After all the social experimenting that we've been watching take place in the military in recent years, prayer is what's concerning those on the left. It just shows the enormous conflict of reality that these people are living in. And, look, as we enter into Memorial Day weekend, I think it's important for us to remember and honor the memory of those who gave their lives for our freedom. Obviously, that's what Memorial Day is all about. But we would do well also to remind the critics out there that encouraging prayer in our military and encouraging prayer for our military is not something to be frowned on. And I would well imagine that my next guest is going to agree with me. Joining me now is David Mills. He's the founder and director of Men's Alliance. After an enormous career in the Air Force, he punched out of the military. He has now become a missionary to men, if you will. His ministry is growing exponentially all across the country as they literally come alongside churches and build up biblical masculinity. So, Dave, welcome to Washington Watch. It's an honor to have you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Heiss. It's a pleasure to be here.
Well, you've got a world of experience in the military, retired lieutenant colonel in the Air Force, and I'm sure during your illustrious career that you saw a lot of changes in the military, in leadership and so forth, and how those changes impact those in various ranks all along. But as we look within that context, is it encouraging you now to see how Secretary Hegseth is not only welcoming those with Christian faith, but is literally embracing it?
Yeah, absolutely. It makes me wish I were still in. I wish that I had the opportunity to serve under Secretary Hegseth. This is the exact kind of leadership that our country needs and that our military needs. And like you said, there's nothing at all controversial about this. We come from an entire historical lineage in this country of our commanders bowing a knee to pray, back to George Washington, of course. So I can't think of a better thing for the Secretary of Defense to do than to pause and to pray.
I can't either. So what do you make of all the criticism that he's getting right now?
Well, I think that a part of it is we've seen the pendulum swing so absurdly far to the left over the past many years that now, even if it moves back an inch into the correct position, it's very alarming to people. I have people that I've talked to who are atheists, they are legitimately concerned about us as Christians mandating some sort of a national Christian religion. And that's, of course, so absurd, so far from anything that's happening in reality, but that's their concern. And we have to remind them, hey, listen, you live in a country founded. The last time I checked, our national motto was "In God We Trust." So hold on, calm down. It's not anything to get upset about. This is just simply a man praying for wisdom. If you read what the prayer was, right, it was praying for stability, for guidance, for protection and blessing. I think everyone is for these type of things, and it's absolutely great. It's encouraging to see our Secretary of Defense doing this. I hope he keeps it up.
I do as well. So how is this impacting the morale? I mean, you have not only this with prayer, but he, Secretary and President Trump, they've drawn a clear line on the reality that men are men, women are women. If you want to serve in the military, you will do so according to your biological sex and so forth. How do all these things, common sense approaches, if you will, affect morale?
Well, from my perspective, from my position, this is a huge breath of fresh air. It's a return to common sense. It's like we've all been given permission to stop playing an absurd game that nobody wanted to play in the first place. And so many of the rank and file soldiers, sailors, airmen, Marines were going along with simply because, hey, I don't want to stand out. I want to, do well in my job. But as soon as, someone reveals at the top that was absurd and we're going away from it, we're done with that, as he said, there's a huge collective sigh of relief as a nation and as a military that, honestly, thank God we are returning to some common sense morality.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Here, we've got less than a minute. Tell us real quickly about Men's Alliance and where people can find more info about it.
Absolutely. Men's Alliance is a Christian men's movement of tribes of men across the country that meet weekly. Every tribe does a 30-minute outdoor workout, rain, shine, sleet or snow, followed by a real-world devotion around a fire. It's resonating with men because this is what we need. We need to be challenged to get off the sideline, back into the game. And if you want to learn more, our listeners can go to men'salliancetribe.com. Find a tribe near you.
That's awesome. Thank you so much, Dave Mills, founder and director.
I appreciate it.